keep everybody a piece of what's going on. The general feeling is, or my feeling's been that I'm always the last to know, and I'm finding out things that the attorneys are doing, but the mayor seems to be the last one to know, and that's why I was asking for clarification. Y'all saying we need a policy on it here. I mean, I have no problem with an individual council member talking to them about whatever that you want to talk about. But like I said, once it becomes public, or once you start another discussion with another council member, and to me there's not a privacy to that right there. Now you've got two, now you've got three, because I'm finding there's, and I think I don't take the words of your mouth, Mr. Summers, but I think you find the frustration of it there as well. Sometimes he's the last one to know, and when I've asked you, when you wrote something up, and I know you felt bad, I've asked him, who gave this to you to write up? Well, I can't tell you. Why can't you tell me who? Well, I have to call and ask to get their permission to let me talk with you about it. And I just think that's wrong. In my opinion, y'all might not, you can disagree with me on there, but we're trying to keep open and transparency. That's what we ran on and said that we wanted to do. I have no problem with anybody knowing. When I talk about city business, you can sit right there. Now, there's certain things, Bill, you correct me, personnel or HIPAA stuff or something like that, those things have got to be kept private for whatever. Generally, me, the majority of what we talk about in here, that we get legal advice from, it should be all of us. So we're not, per se, we're all finding out after we get 2, 3, 4 people, and we find about it. The attorney knows, 4 people will know, or council members will know, or 3 council members will know. And I just think it's wrong. We all need to be sharing the same thing, and not we put them on the hot spot because I got to get their permission, and whether or not you can get a hold of it, you get an email or whatever. So I throw that up for y'all's discussion. Nobody has no feelings on it. Y'all, everybody agree to keep the way it is. Stay private.
My only comment is that the city attorney represents the mayor and the total council.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's playing a game to me. When you turn around, we can't all talk together. When you're talking to the attorney, he's providing their opinion, and you tell me we get an 80–90% talking with the attorney, but we don't find out till we get here or down the road. I just think that's unprofessional.
Mr. Mayor, I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't even know why we're bringing this forward. I haven't been involved in anything. I don't know what you're speaking of.
Okay, let me try it again.
Give me an example.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's listen. You talk to the attorney about whatever you want to talk about the stickers, let's say. Y'all feel concerned about stickers. So you talk to him about stickers, and he gives you that ruling or whatever. And then you go on, he says you can have an ordinance or not an ordinance or whatever you want. And then okay, but to me, that's fine with y'all. But when you start, then you go to Mr. Steinberg going, we need an ordinance for a sticker. And talk to the attorney, and he says, yep, we can make it a $1,000 fine, or whatever. Now, to me, that's now starting to get, that's not a private conversation. Now, the council, he's advising 2 council members, that's 40% of the council. And then you go get a 3rd person to agree. That's 60% of the council talking to the city attorney, and 40% is left out. Why are we scared to talk to each other? You can have all the private conversations with the attorney that you want, but to me, once we go out, we need to start talking to each other, because that's why we look like we do, like we're up here and we're all surprising each other. Whoa, when did you find out about that? Or when did you? The attorney can't tell me. He's not sending anything out to let me know. We're up here. I just think it's bad business. Do you understand that?
Let me correct you on one thing, though. That ordinance that you're talking about came from the court. It had nothing to do with us. It was discussed at the community, the Public Safety Committee meeting, that the open public is there. So there's not transparency. So that's a poor example because it went through the appropriate channels.
Okay, Ms. Bushman, you're trying to read it to her.
No.
Whether it came from, let's say it was not at no committee meeting. You decided to come up with something on your own. You want a resolution for me to pick up garbage, for us to pick up garbage somewhere, or you want any conversation you have with him is more than welcome. But when you start bringing in more input, particularly the elected officials, I think we need to be more transparent in what we're talking about. So we can at least, you can have your differences of opinion on it there. But I just think we've been isolated too much. I sat up here at the citizens' stuff. I'm the last to know. But Mr. Thomas is with there, and we go, well, we sent that to you at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock on Friday. Well, how long have y'all been working on this? Why can't we share information? Difference of opinion is what America's all about. But share information. You like ice cream? I don't. You want chocolate? They want. But share the information. Don't sit there on it and close hold on it. I just think we need a lot of directions that we need to agree how we're going to share it, how we're going to use the city attorney. Because I think there's a challenge on it. He don't work for individuals. He works for everyone who's non-citizen. And just take it a step further. For all the employees, I don't think they need direct access to the city attorney. How do you like the ordinance you're talking about? When I was talking to Ray, he got ambushed on that. And he said he knew nothing. He was the same thing. Here we had a city clerk. The clerk, not the judge, not the solicitor, on her own decided she wanted to see about an ordinance, called them. Ray told me he didn't know that he got ambushed up here as well. And so here we are, we've got a city administrator, we've got the mayor, and I think we had a council member got ambushed by a staff talking directly and having an ordinance done. And whatever, we appreciate your comments, staff. But there's the city administrator, and I think that's what John Dickerson said, ought to be one, not that he doesn't get a review, but let the city administrator say, hey, I got this, and I'm going to send it to the attorneys, and then he turns around and tells, once that's turned around and done, but when you break that 1-2 with the attorney, I think it needs to be talked to everybody, shared with everybody. Mr. Allen.
Here again, we've expounded for a long time on an item that I'm uncomfortable with, and that Mr. Thomas, please help me with this. Other than the January 9th meeting, I have called Mr. Thomas. I have asked to meet with him. I said, would you be anytime, any place, anywhere? I have tried through emails, I have tried to include him to get his input, his thoughts on any issue that I want to talk about. So far, it hasn't been reciprocated. So my effort, is being put forth with no fruit, and I know that's the same fact from the other council members as far as trying to reach out and communicate. But Mr. Mayor, for you to say that we're the only one that talked to the attorney, and don't tell us what is being discussed with the attorney is not true, or with your communicating with the citizens, or doing any kind of thing of that nature. I think we all have to have some level of privacy and relationship with our constituencies, with different people, of staff. So if you're going to sit there and really truly tell me that you've never written an email to the attorney that did not copy me or the other council members after it became a two-party issue, then I would love to bring forth about a handful of them at the next meeting, if that's going to be the issue here. So I would like to respectfully ask that we stop playing smoke and mirrors here. Everybody in this council is entitled to legal guidance, and we can interpret that legal guidance to the best of our ability and move forward with an ordinance or a resolution. Whether the council agrees with it or disagrees with it is not arbitrary to him or to you or anyone else. It's just our ability as elected officials to ask for legal guidance. So, you know, as far as down staff or something like that, I mean, I don't really know the litigation behind that, but I mean, there's nobody up here that is trying to blow smoke in here. Anytime, you know, you ask me to sit down, I've always been available to sit down with you. Same thing, I offer myself to Mr. Thomas, and I know Richard, Robin, and Harold have been very available. So I just don't think that this statement of we have to, you know, show these emails and conversation pieces, I mean, let's just be more realistic. All parties sitting at this dais have practiced exactly what you said, and there's nothing illegal going on. There's nothing wrong with us trying to do our job as council.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Alcon, yes, you and I have had conversations. You have called, I've called, we've talked. But there have been some occasions where it was obvious that there had been conversations with other council members and that I was left out. Yes, it is true that you tried to reach me on Friday at 4 o'clock with an item that was going to be discussed on Monday. And I've indicated to you that, you know, you can just call me. I'm not the one to sit at the computer and look at emails on the weekend because I interact with my church, with other organizations, and I just don't sit at the computer. But I have a problem with, and I'm not going to drag this out, but you know, you and I have talked about this, but there have been occasions where, you know, certain things was obvious that there have been discussions and I was left out. But again, I'm not going to, we've talked about this, so I'm not going to reiterate that, but I do just want to respond to the comments that you just made.
Mark, I just don't need to wiggle on it around like that, but I'll just give an example here tonight. Here he goes, there's some resolutions that y'all have come up with about things for the mayor to do or turn, but y'all never even talked to the mayor. This surprised me. And this is good, but it's surprising me. And for drafting this stuff up, why am I not included in the conversation? Particularly, Mayor, you wrote, because you lived there. Well, you told me here that you didn't think, well, if I knew you wasn't opposed to it, I'm just, you know, if you include me and we talk about it, we might not be wasting his time to draft up resolutions or that we don't need. I'm not criticizing anything is done illegal. But you can do stuff legally, but there's still, you have a moral and ethical thing, and I think it's just, I'm for openness, and I just like to, we come around and do that. I said, there it was, the resolutions here tonight, 2 or 3 of them here, I had not seen before. They came up there, wasn't made aware of it. And who else was? I don't know. But the attorney was, because he got it drafted up there. Okay, any more discussion?
Lastly, Mr. Mayor, I did not have advanced information on these resolutions. For an example, the organizational chart, it was obvious that some thought went into that, some discussion went into that with other council members. It was only presented to me here at a council meeting. So I did not have opportunity to even have input into that.
Okay. Next item we should have on here, the Clarence Spoons for use of pavilion for the Heritage Trail 5K mud run. Sorry for the time here.
Mr. Mayor, Councilman Bush, good evening. I come before you today to talk to you about the Stockbridge Heritage Trail 5K Mud Run, scheduled for September 15, 2012. It was about 5 months that I was here before all of you, and I was given some great advice by Mr. Alcon, Mr. Steinberg, Mr. Bushman, in terms of how we can conduct a 5K, MLK run, walk, and bike. Which I believe we all know was a great success. It brought a lot of notoriety to the city. It brought a lot of unity towards the community. The 6 churches that were involved worked very closely together, and they had an opportunity to be able to give the city some good press. I'd like to share some information with you regarding this. Once again, the Stockbridge Heritage Trail organization proposes to conduct a 5K Mutter Run. Why Mutter Run? That's the new trend right now. Everyone has 5Ks, they have fast walks, they have things of this sort. But the new trend that everybody's going toward is a Mutter Run. Since we've had our last event, the conversation between participants is, can we do something different? And we did some research among the committee, and we determined that this was the most impactful and easiest event to put on with the resources that we had available. The date that we're looking at is the 15th of September 2012, between 9 o'clock in the morning and 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll begin at Memorial Park, go down Reeves Creek Trail until it dead ends. The return route is the participants get in Reeves Creek and run back up to Ty Street, and on down to Rock Quarry Road. Once they get to Rock Quarry Road, they take a left and run along the shoulder of the road to the Georgia Power Line access gate and return back to Memorial Park. The reason for this is to raise funds for the Stockbridge Heritage Trail Memorial Markers. We'd like to install throughout the city, with your approval, to recognize some of the historical sites and for other future projects as well. We plan to do this through a partnership with Get Set Growth, who we involved ourselves with last time. A professional race organization which will be responsible for the overall organization, like they did in the MLK 5K walk and run in January of this year. What we need from the city is for you to allow us to use Memorial Park, Reeves Creek Trail, and the creek itself. Second, authorize us to use the first pavilion in Memorial Park. Third is authorize us to use the restroom facilities. Fourth, set up the water washdown area in the lawn near the first pavilion for the participants to clean up. 5, have the police department provide traffic control. 6, authorize other vendors to put booths in Memorial Park. Energy drinks, things normally associated with the run. And finally, to have a parking employee on duty the entire time of the event. The purpose of this is, once again, when I came before you last time, this is our first opportunity to do this. Mr. Alacon, I think you were the one that gave me the advice that we needed to get with the city administrator. We didn't really give anybody a lot of time in terms of the opportunity to be able to plan for this accordingly. We're looking at more than 90 days out. And we believe we can have another first-class event, even better than the event that we had last time, that will once again promote the city, will once again bring everyone involved. And to other comments that I've heard over the course of the meeting, is to bring a positive notoriety to the city of Stockbridge. We learned a lot of things, as I said back in January. I thank you for your input. I thank you, Mr. Steinberg, for your input. Mrs. Bushman, I thank you for your input as well. Had it not been for that, we would not have been successful. I know that we received a lot of accolades, I believe. In fact, Mr. Steinberg, you sent me an email that afternoon thanking me for what we've done. And once again, we are just one of the good citizens for the city of Stockbridge. We want to bring good things and good positive notoriety to the city. I offer myself for any questions that you have. Oh, by the way, we have submitted the paperwork in May. My understanding is that it has not been, it's been completed, but it's been tabled. It has not been approved as of yet. So I'll be following up with that to find out what the whole thing is. But again, I offer myself any questions.
Mr. Mayor?
Paperwork, I didn't catch that.
Well,
You submitted some paperwork.
the ability to use perfect.
The request.
Yeah, the request, right.
Okay.
I think
Mr. Gold, thank you for that. I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize Ms. Reed This request originally came through the Community Relations Committee meeting. Mrs. Reed made his presentation. I think it came forward to the body. I would suggest, and I don't know, I know there are some copies of those requests. I don't know if the council member need those to be able to see that, but if you indicated that those requests are maybe Nicole, do you have a copy of those requests? Okay, so I think we may need to bring that forward. So at the council meeting, the council members can actually see those requests and be able to render a decision or vote at that time. Would that be appropriate?
In fact, if I recall correctly from I believe with Mr. Elton, I believe we were told as long as we submitted the permit for use, there was not a need for a vote. We just want to make sure as good citizens of the community, we make sure the council is aware. I believe that from our last understanding is as long as the permits were filed timely, it would not be a problem. Once again, just as a reminder, we had Getset Grows, a professional organization that puts it on. They handle every aspect of it. The inconvenience to the citizens is minimal as they monitor the traffic crossing East Atlanta Road. We secured pacers through the law enforcement through that aspect, so that the effect of the city was minimal in terms of any inconvenience.
Understood. Thanks so much for bringing this before us. It's an exciting opportunity for us here at the city. I just want to check on one thing, and I'm just absolutely not sure about it, and that is you're requesting free use of the pavilion.
We are requesting free use of the pavilion, Mr. Steinberg, and thank you for asking that question. When we had the last one, the information we received was that if the city knew about it in a much more advanced notice, that the city would support us in this effort and will partner with us on this. What we're asking for are the 7 components that we need for the city. The pavilion and opening the restaurants is probably the greatest expense. We're asking in good faith that the city allows us to use that as the partners within this aspect. I hope I have any questions.
Yes, ma'am. Just continue for a second. The only thing I want to make sure is that it doesn't run afoul of any city regulation. Because I think there has to be a minimum charge. I'm not sure there's an exemption allowed on a rental facility. And I would look to the attorney for clarification on that.
Mr. Steinberg, if I may, I have in front of me 7.08.020 reservations and fee for our public parks under C. And I think this falls into your prior plan, which you're doing a great job of, there can be a waiver of fees if qualified. It says charitable and nonprofit organizations, schools, daycare centers are eligible for a waiver of rental fees, subject to sufficient documentation of said their entities. So, I mean, it sounds like you guys are 501c3 or have not, I don't know. But if you're not a 501c3, nonprofit, school, daycare, that's about the only waiver that our ordinance now allows us to give free rental to it. And the thing too is, even if you qualified, I would say if a family or a family reunion has already, paid for that rental, we certainly couldn't remove them from that rental. But I just, this week I think it's time, I think, to move on that. But that is what I knew that was one of your requests, and that's why I did some research on that.
What is the rental fee?
It says right here, $50 a day, daylight to dusk, $35 for additional 2-hour blocks, and then $35 for afternoon blocks, 3 p.m. to dusk.
I'll tell you what I'll do. If you guys are asked, I'll pay your fee for you, so we don't have to go through the paperwork. What you're asking for is what somebody, if you can have a pavilion,
Right, that's correct.
I'll give you, I'll donate. You know,
If the dates and time are
if the dates and time are available. You
Certainly.
So we don't have to go into all that legal needs stuff, paperwork, all that. Yes, I think it's a good purpose, it's a good community building.
Does work.
Okay. Mr. Thomas?
So, Mr. Boone, that being the case, you just have to go down and stay at the Homeland and Reserve before anyone else used to it.
We'll make sure that they're listening.
And I think you don't even have, there's a park employee, because I was out there this weekend, there's a park employee on all the time, 7 days a week. So you don't have to, he can just, he needs to be over there, but there's one there, so that eliminates the employee portion. Water, you're asking for water, but water ain't free.
Again, I'd have to defer to the ordinances that we have to follow our ordinances relating to that. I don't know if there are any.
So if we had a leak over there about the time they got there, washing down. I know my daughter runs those things, I know what you're talking about, that's the motor runs. We've worked that out, I think.
Probably.
Anybody else?
Any further questions? The last thing I'd like to say is I certainly invite all 6 of you to come out and participate, get dirty with us for the program as well, for the activities.
Maybe we can have a council vote off.
Lots of motors.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Control the snakes out there in the mud, I've been enjoying.
Well, there we could get it told. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
The next thing on here is employee luncheons. You have it on your schedule on here. We're just asking, I think we did it last year, and we were looking at the cost. And we have, for the remainder of the year, we got a luncheon on the 3rd of July, and then 31 August, you got a Labor Day luncheon, and then right behind it, October, whatever. Don't Google it and save the cost and stuff. Some employees will say themselves, well, I mean, this is how many